Hey folks, it's Ricardo, and we are here at Namco's Gamers Day, and I'm standing here with Katsuhiro Harada, who is producer on Tekken 6. Now, Namco just showed off a new trailer for the game, and they just announced that it's going to be on PSP as well. But before we ask about that, we want to ask you, sir, about how development's been going on Tekken 6 on PS3.
So basically, above 50%. Of course, we have it running on the 360 and PS3. The core game mechanics in the gameplay from the arcade version is running smoothly at the moment. So we're basically focused on the console-specific content at the moment.
Now, I know you probably can't share much of that, but can you throw any hints to us about what we can expect for the console-specific content?
Yeah, you're right. I can't really go into much detail. However, I guess one keyword is probably online this time around. Not only versus play online, but something for everyone, and maybe perhaps players who aren't so good at Tekken per se. We plan to have something for them online. As well as also up until now for each installment we've kind of had little mini games and such. However, this time we plan to have one big mode actually for the console specific content.
Now, just to clarify, because we have been getting email and some questions about this from the community, the game's called Tekken 6, and when it was first announced, there was just one Tekken 6 in the arcade, but since then, there have been some expansion packs in the arcade and some new revisions of it. What exactly is going to be in this game called Tekken 6 for consoles? Is it just going to be the original or everything?
So you're right, some players and other people might be confused of the title, Tekken 6. But what this is actually it includes not only the arcade version of Tekken 6, but there was an expansion in Japan in the arcades called Tekken Bloodline Rebellion, where the graphics were overhauled and they added full body motion blur to the characters, and they added new characters and a lot of items and stuff. So for the home version, not only is it Tekken 6, but all the content that was created for the expansion, plus all the new mode and the content and all the stuff we have specifically for the console will all make its way to PS3 and the 360. And then the PSP, of course.
Now, speaking of the PSP, you guys just announced it. What can we expect from that particular version of the game? Are you guys kind of reusing the old engine that you used for the last Tekken PSP game, or is this something all new?
Actually, so much has changed about the game since DR. For example, the way the character models are created and the item customization, how that is handled, and the graphic engine, and all of that. The stages, the walls and floors are destructible. So many elements of the game have changed. So the way that we use the CPU and the memory, we can't use it in the same way that we did for DDR. So essentially everything was built new for this installment on PSP.
And in terms of content, how close is this going to be to what we see in the console versions?
Well, of course, you know, it's not a next-gen console per se, the PSP, so we're not going to promise you that it's going to look exactly the same. However, any player who's seen Tekken GR for the PSP will know that the quality of the graphics is quite high. And this time around, we have all the new features of Tekken 6, but in addition to that, we hope to have at least the same graphic level as PSP DR, and possibly even better than that.
And so obviously one of the big console features for Tekken 6 is the ability to play online. Will we be able to do that with the PSP over infrastructure mode?
For Tekken PSP, of course the infrastructure online is not implemented, but that is because the PSP as a hardware and the way it handles the infrastructure internet connection is different. And there is a delay in the response, especially for the PSP, and that kind of really impacts the gameplay of Tekken, where you have very specific timing for a lot of the moves. So it just wasn't a good idea in its current form for Tekken and PSP. So the way we envision it is, if you want to play a lot of battles online with people, you can play on PS3 or 360. And if you're with your friends, you know, and you have your PSPs together, then play over ad hoc against other players. So that's kind of how we see online for Tekken 6.
All right, well, thank you for your time, sir. When can we look forward to playing these games at our homes?
そうですね、発売は
The game will be out in fall of this year.